The crowd is so loud, confetti falls like rain as Lionel Messi holds up the World Cup. This is Argentina, a country where people love football. It's almost like a religion. But Argentina is more than just sports. Many years ago, another famous person, Eva Perón, also known as Evita, was loved by the nation. She fought for the people, and people still remember her today. From the Andes Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean, Argentina has amazing landscapes and an exciting history. A long time ago, before Europeans came to the vast and diverse lands of South America, Argentina was a place of rich cultures and thriving communities. The land was home to many different native people, each with their own unique way of life, traditions, and social structures. These indigenous groups lived in harmony with the land, utilizing its resources in sustainable ways and developing sophisticated societies. Among these groups were the Diaguita people, who inhabited the northwest regions of what is now Argentina. They were known for their incredible skills in building and metalworking. The Diaguita constructed impressive homes and structures using local materials, showcasing their advanced knowledge of architecture and engineering. Their metalwork, often made from copper and bronze, included tools, weapons, and intricate jewelry, reflecting their artistic talents and practical needs. Meanwhile, on the expansive grassy plains to the south, the Tehuelche people led a nomadic lifestyle. They were expert horsemen, traveling great distances across the pampas with their herds. The Tehuelche were well adapted to the harsh environments, relying on their deep knowledge of the land and its cycles to sustain their communities. Their culture was rich with traditions, stories, and a deep spiritual connection to nature. These diverse indigenous groups, along with many others, each spoke their own languages and practiced their own beliefs. They contributed to a vibrant mosaic of cultures that laid the foundation for what Argentina would become. Their customs, art, and knowledge were passed down through generations, creating a legacy that still influences the country today. However, the arrival of the Spanish in the 1500s marked a significant turning point in this rich history. The Spanish conquistadors, driven by the pursuit of gold, power, and new territories, brought with them new technologies, diseases, and a different way of life. The indigenous people faced immense challenges as they were forced to adapt to the new realities imposed by the colonizers. The Spanish sought to dominate and control the native populations, often through violent means. They imposed their language, religion, and governance structures, fundamentally altering the social fabric of the region. Despite the resistance and resilience of the indigenous people, the Spanish conquest led to significant changes in their way of life. Over time, a fusion of Spanish and indigenous cultures emerged, creating a unique blend that characterizes modern Argentina. The Spanish language became dominant, and many aspects of Spanish culture were integrated into daily life. Yet, the influence of the indigenous peoples remained strong, evident in the art, music, and traditions that continue to be celebrated today. This blending of cultures has shaped Argentina into a nation with a rich and complex heritage. The legacy of the native peoples, combined with the impact of Spanish colonization, has created a unique cultural tapestry that is both resilient and dynamic. Understanding this history is crucial to appreciating the diverse and vibrant identity of Argentina today. In the early 1800s, people in Argentina wanted to be free from Spain. They were inspired by new ideas about freedom and were tired of being ruled by Spain. The May Revolution of 1810 was a big moment. Argentina started to govern itself. The fight for freedom was long and hard, led by brave people like General José de San Martín. Finally, on July 9, 1816, Argentina became a free country. After Argentina became independent, things were exciting and uncertain. The country was filled with a sense of newfound freedom and the promise of a bright future. However, this period was also marked by instability and challenges as the nation sought to define its identity and place in the world. The early years of independence were a time of both hope and struggle, as Argentina navigated its way through political upheaval and social change. Argentina had good farmland and started selling things to other countries. The fertile plains, known as the Pampas, were ideal for agriculture, and soon, wheat and beef became major exports. This agricultural boom laid the foundation for Argentina's economy, attracting investment and fostering growth. Farmers and ranchers worked tirelessly to cultivate the land, transforming the country into a key player in the global market. The success of these exports brought wealth and prosperity to many, but it also highlighted the disparities within the society. This made the country richer, and people from Europe came to Argentina looking for a better life. Waves of immigrants from Italy, Spain, and other European countries arrived, bringing with them diverse cultures and traditions. They settled in cities and rural areas, contributing to the country's development and adding to its cultural mosaic. These new arrivals were often seeking opportunities and escaping hardships in their homelands, and Argentina offered them a chance to start anew. The influx of immigrants played a crucial role in shaping the nation's identity and workforce. Buenos Aires, a busy port city, became a symbol of Argentina's success. The city grew rapidly, becoming a bustling metropolis with grand architecture, vibrant neighborhoods, and a thriving cultural scene. It was a place where the old world met the new, and where innovation and tradition coexisted. Buenos Aires was not only the economic hub of the country, but also a cultural beacon, attracting artists, writers, and intellectuals from around the world. The city's growth mirrored the nation's aspirations and its complex journey towards modernity. But not everyone was rich. Despite the economic growth, many people lived in poverty, struggling to make ends meet. The working class faced harsh conditions with long hours and low wages. In the shadow of the grand buildings and affluent neighborhoods, there were slums and shantytowns where the less fortunate lived. The stark contrast between wealth and poverty was a reminder that the benefits of progress were not evenly distributed. Social tensions simmered as the gap between the rich and the poor became more pronounced. Big farms called estancias belonged to a few wealthy families. These vast estates were symbols of power and privilege, often passed down through generations. The owners of the estancias wielded significant influence over the country's economy and politics. They lived in opulent mansions, surrounded by vast tracts of land, while the laborers who worked for them lived in much more modest conditions. The estancias were a microcosm of the broader societal inequalities that characterized Argentina during this period. The gap between the rich and the poor grew bigger. As the wealthy elite consolidated their power and resources, the working class and rural poor found themselves increasingly marginalized. This growing disparity led to social unrest and calls for reform. Movements advocating for workers' rights and social justice began to emerge, challenging the status quo and demanding a more equitable distribution of wealth. The tension between different social classes became a defining feature of Argentine society, influencing its politics and culture. The gaucho, the Argentine cowboy, became a symbol of freedom and the fight for fairness. These rugged horsemen of the pampas were celebrated in folklore and literature as embodiments of the Argentine spirit. They were seen as defenders of the common people, standing against the injustices of the powerful. The gaucho's way of life, characterized by independence and a deep connection to the land, resonated with many Argentines who longed for a more just and equitable society. Their legacy continues to inspire and shape the national identity. In the middle of the 1900s, Juan Domingo Perón and his wife Eva changed Argentina a lot. Their influence was profound and far-reaching, touching every aspect of Argentine society. They were not just political figures, they became symbols of hope and change for many. Their story is one of passion, ambition, and controversy, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to be felt today. Perón was in the military, and he and Eva were very popular with working people. Perón's military background gave him a strong, authoritative presence, while Eva's charisma and compassion endeared her to the masses. Together, they formed a powerful duo that resonated deeply with the working class. They were seen as champions of the common people, advocating for workers' rights and social justice. They promised to make life better and make Argentina a proud country. Their vision was one of national pride and prosperity, aiming to uplift the downtrodden and create a more equitable society. Their campaign rallies were filled with energy and optimism, with supporters waving banners and chanting slogans of hope. The Perón's message was clear. They were here to bring about a new era of progress and unity. Some people loved the Peróns, and some people didn't. Their leadership was polarizing, with passionate supporters and equally passionate detractors. While many admired their efforts to improve the lives of the poor and working class, others criticized their methods and accused them of authoritarianism. The country was divided, with intense political debates and protests reflecting the deep-seated tensions within Argentine society. Eva, known as Evita, fought for poor people. She was deeply committed to social causes, dedicating much of her time and energy to helping the less fortunate. Evita's work with charity organizations and her personal visits to impoverished neighborhoods made her a beloved figure among the poor. She was seen as a beacon of hope, someone who truly cared about their struggles and was willing to fight for their rights. She gave inspiring speeches and was very stylish. Evita's speeches were powerful and moving, often bringing crowds to tears. Her eloquence and passion made her a captivating speaker, and her stylish appearance added to her allure. She was a fashion icon, known for her elegant dresses and impeccable sense of style. Evita's public persona was a blend of grace and strength, making her an unforgettable figure in Argentine history. Some people thought she was a saint and others didn't like her. Evita's legacy is complex and multifaceted. To her admirers, she was a saintly figure, a champion of the poor and a symbol of compassion. To her critics, she was a controversial and divisive figure accused of manipulating public sentiment for political gain. The mixed reactions to her image reflect the broader divisions within Argentine society, with Evita remaining a polarizing figure to this day. When she died in 1952, many people in Argentina were very sad. Her death marked the end of an era, and the nation mourned the loss of a beloved and influential figure. Thousands of Argentinians lined the streets to pay their respects, and the outpouring of grief was immense. Eva Perón's legacy continues to be felt in Argentina, with her life and work leaving an indelible mark on the country's history and culture. In 1982, Argentina and Great Britain fought a short but serious war over the Falkland Islands, which Argentina calls the Islas Malvinas. The war lasted 74 days and changed Argentina a lot. The leaders of Argentina at that time were not very popular, and they thought the war would make people support them. But Argentina lost the war, and the leaders were removed from power. This led to a new push for democracy in Argentina. In 1983, democracy returned to Argentina. After years of military leaders and problems, the country started to heal. There were trials to find out who did bad things during the Dirty War. Argentina worked hard to make its democracy strong. It was difficult, and there were still money problems and unrest. But Argentina kept working to make a better future. Argentina is famous around the world for its culture. The tango dance, which started in Buenos Aires, is popular everywhere. Asado, the Argentine barbecue, is a symbol of how much Argentinians love to spend time with family and friends. Argentina has also produced famous writers, musicians, and artists. Writers like Jorge Luis Borges and Julio Cortázar are known all over the world. Astor Piazzolla made tango music modern and exciting. Argentina is a country full of passion, whether it's for football or politics. From winning football games to the difficult times in its history, Argentina is a fascinating place. What's more interesting about Argentina, Messi, Perón, or tango? Maybe it's all of these things together, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, that make Argentina so interesting.